If you're a die-hard Browns fan and love breaking down the game like we do, hit that subscribe button and turn on the bell so you never miss a blitz. The Cleveland Browns have never been shy when it comes to shaking things up, but their approach in the 2025 NFL Draft might just be one of their boldest quarterback moves yet. In a decision that caught plenty of analysts off guard, the Browns selected not one, but two quarterbacks, setting the stage for a competitive offseason. First came Dillon Gabriel, the Oklahoma standout with quick feet and a sharp release. But it wasn't long before the headlines pivoted. Enter Shedeur Sanders, son of Dayon Primetime Sanders, who fell to the 5th round in what many consider one of the biggest steals of the draft. While his drop sparked debate across social media, Browns fans were buzzing with optimism, thrilled at the chance to see what the young Sanders could do. His name carried weight, and expectations soared before he even took a snap in Cleveland. Now, let's be clear, when a team drafts two quarterbacks, it's a message. It says, we're not sold on what we have. That makes the Browns' current depth chart even more intriguing. You got veteran Joe Flacco, who brings experience and a Super Bowl ring. Kenny Pickett, the former Steelers starter, now looking for a revival. Add in Dillon Gabriel, a dual threat with plenty to prove, and Shedeur Sanders, a high-profile name with something even bigger, potential. It's a crowded room, sure, but it's also a breeding ground for stories. One of those stories started brewing faster than expected. As rookie minicamp kicked off in Cleveland, all eyes turned to Sanders, not just because of his famous last name, but because of how he carried himself. Confident, focused, and clearly ready to compete. Enter Bruce Drennan. If you know Cleveland sports, you know Bruce. He's loud, he's opinionated, and he's been around long enough to see countless quarterbacks come and go. So when Drennan was asked recently on his show which of the two rookies might have the longer future with the Browns, people listened. It wasn't a question he took lightly. He paused. He weighed both options, knowing the risk in making early predictions. But in classic Drennan style, he didn't dodge the moment. He leaned in, stared into the camera, and said it with conviction. Gotta say Sanders. That simple statement lit up comment sections and group chats. Drennan didn't hedge. He went all in on Sanders, and his reasoning wasn't just about talent. Statistically, Drennan said, you look at what Sanders did at Colorado under his dad. It's smart football. He wasn't just airing it out. He made calculated plays, leaned into short, safe passes, especially screens, and let playmakers like Travis Hunter do the heavy lifting. That's what Drennan loved about him. Not just the arm, not just the confidence, but the football IQ. The understanding that sometimes getting the ball into the right hands is more important than launching it 60 yards. Sanders wasn't trying to be flashy, he was trying to win. And that mentality is exactly what Bruce believes gives him staying power in Cleveland. It's not just about highlights, it's about trust, decision-making, and consistency. Of course, draft position still matters in the NFL. And the reality is, a 5th-round QB isn't supposed to come in and make headlines. But Shedeur Sanders has never really played by the rules of expectation. His drop to day 3 wasn't a reflection of talent for many scouts, it was circumstance. And since arriving in Cleveland, he hasn't wasted a moment dwelling on where he was picked. According to multiple reports, Sanders has shown a level of professionalism and drive that has already impressed the coaching staff. No sulking, no entitlement, just work. Whether it's staying late after practice or absorbing the playbook at lightning speed, Sanders is doing everything in his power to force the Browns to take notice. And they are. It's rare for rookie minicamps to shift narratives. But that's exactly what Shedeur has done. Instead of being buried behind Flacco, Pickett, and Gabriel, he's inching his way into the spotlight with every rep. Coaches have reportedly taken a closer look, impressed by how quickly he processes reads and adapts to the pace of the NFL. While the Browns continue to rotate quarterbacks in drills, the buzz around Sanders is growing. Whispers have already started. Could he push his way into second-team reps during OTAs? Could he leapfrog someone on the depth chart? It's early, but momentum is a powerful thing, especially in a league that thrives on competition. And here's the thing, this isn't just about one training camp or one preseason. It's about what a franchise sees in a player long term. Sanders may have entered as a 5th rounder, but Bruce Drennan's words carry an undertone of foresight. He sees a quarterback who can grow, adapt, and thrive. Someone who might not be the starter in week 1, but who could be the franchise face in year 3. The Browns aren't just looking for someone to hold a clipboard. They're hunting for the next leader, the next voice in the huddle. And right now, Sanders is making a case loudly, consistently, and with the kind of poise that makes you take notice. It's also worth noting how Sanders fits culturally in Cleveland. This is a fan base that respects grit, hard work, and underdog. Stories. They've endured quarterback carousel after quarterback carousel, and they know the pain of false hope. But Sanders, with his chip on the shoulder attitude and willingness to grind, fits the mold of a player fans can get behind. It's not just what he does on the field, it's how he carries himself. There's a maturity in his interviews, humility in his interactions, and a relentless drive that makes it hard not to root for him. If he continues this path through training camp, the fans might start calling for him louder than anyone expected. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. There's still a long way to go. Training camp battles are brutal, and experience still matters in the NFL. Joe Flacco is no slouch, and Kenny Pickett will be fighting to prove he belongs. Dylan Gabriel, too, brings a different skill set that could earn him a role. But as the Browns staff evaluates talent, one thing is becoming clear. Shedeur Sanders is not here just to be a body in camp. He's here to compete. He's here to win a spot. And if Bruce Drennan's gut feeling proves correct, he may just win more than that. He may win Cleveland's future. So keep your eyes on Berea. Because while the draft may have told one story, the field is telling another. Shedeur Sanders is rewriting expectations in real time. He's not just the son of a legend, he's carving out a name of his own. And in a quarterback room full of question marks, that's the kind of certainty the Browns have been chasing. For years, Drennan saw it early. The coaches are seeing it now. And if this trajectory holds, fans across Cleveland could be chanting his name sooner than anyone predicted. This quarterback battle is just getting started, and Shedeur Sanders might just be the last one standing. Enjoying the content so far? Smash that like button and drop your take in the comments. We want to hear what you think about the Browns this season. The Cleveland Browns have sent shockwaves through the NFL by pulling off one of the most sensational moves of the offseason, signing none other than linebacker Micah Parsons. Yes, you heard that right. The same Micah Parsons who was the heart and soul of the Dallas Cowboys defense is now headed to the Dawg Pound. This move marks a monumental shift, not just for Cleveland, but for the entire AFC North. The Browns, who already boasted one of the league's top defensive units, have just added arguably the most explosive and versatile linebacker in the game today. And this isn't just about raw talent. This is a cultural shift. A statement of intent from a franchise that's tired of just competing. They're here to dominate. Cleveland's front office deserves serious credit for getting this done, because prying Parsons away from Dallas seemed like a near impossible task. Yet here we are talking about one of the biggest free agent coups in recent memory. Parsons' arrival in Cleveland doesn't just upgrade their linebacker core, it completely transforms it. We're talking about a player who can rush the passer like a defensive end, drop back in coverage like a safety, and plug the run like a veteran middle linebacker. Micah is the total package. He brings elite speed, power, and instincts that make him a nightmare for opposing offenses. And think about the matchups. Now imagine opposing quarterbacks already worried about Myles Garrett coming off the edge, and now they have to keep tabs on Parsons too? That's straight up terrifying. Joe Burrow, Lamar Jackson, and whoever ends up under center for the Steelers, good luck. Cleveland is building a defense that looks like it was created in a Madden franchise mode with the settings on fantasy. This isn't just about names, it's about fit. Parsons complements what Cleveland already has, and that's what makes this so dangerous. This move didn't come out of nowhere either. There have been quiet rumblings over the past few weeks about Cleveland's front office looking to make a splash on defense, but no one imagined it would be this big. Sources say the Browns had been monitoring Parsons' situation in Dallas closely. With contract talks reportedly stalling between Parsons and the Cowboys, Cleveland saw an opening. They moved fast, aggressively, and with precision. That's the kind of boldness fans have been craving for years. We're seeing a front office that's no longer playing it safe. They're taking calculated risks to go from playoff hopeful to legitimate Super Bowl contender. And let's not overlook the financials here. The Browns had to move some money around, restructure a few contracts, and create cap space. But they made it work. That's savvy management. That's what great organizations do. They find ways to land game changers. Micah Parsons isn't just a game changer on the field, he's a culture setter off it. When you look at what he did in Dallas, he wasn't just racking up sacks and tackles for loss. He was leading by example, setting the tone and elevating the guys around him. That's what Cleveland needs. This is a locker room that's been full of talent, but sometimes lack that vocal, emotional centerpiece. Parsons is that guy. He brings fire, passion, and a relentless drive to win. That energy is contagious. You better believe guys like Denzel Ward, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, and even veterans like Zadarius Smith are going to feed off that. Cleveland's defense just got meaner, faster, and hungrier, and don't forget Parsons is still in the prime of his career. This isn't a short-term rental. This is a long-term building block. The Browns aren't renting greatness. They're locking it in. For Browns fans, this is more than just a headline. It's validation. For years, they've watched other franchises make the big moves, land the big names, and take the big swings. Now, it's Cleveland's turn. This fan base, which has endured more heartbreak than most, finally has something to rally behind that feels real. Parsons coming to Cleveland isn't just exciting, it's inspiring. It signals a new era, one where the Browns aren't just reacting to what other teams do. They're dictating the tempo. They're becoming the aggressors. And let's be honest, this fan base deserves it. They've stuck by this team through thick and thin. They filled the stands during losing seasons. Now they get to see what it looks like when everything comes together. Talent, leadership, strategy, and star power. And let's not underestimate how much this will fire up the Dawg Pound. That place is going to be electric. From a tactical perspective, the addition of Parsons gives defensive coordinator Jim Schwartz a whole new set of tools. Schwartz is known for crafting aggressive, attacking defenses, and now he has a chess piece who can play literally any position in the front seven. Parsons can line up on the edge, blitz from the middle, or even drop into coverage in nickel sets. His versatility allows Schwartz to disguise coverages, confuse quarterbacks, and create mismatches all over the field. And with Myles Garrett drawing constant double teams, Parsons is going to feast. This pairing is the kind of combo that keeps offensive coordinators up at night. It's not just about the sack totals, it's about disruption, pressure, chaos. That's what Cleveland is aiming for. And when you combine that kind of defensive dominance with a solid offense, you get a team that's built for deep playoff runs. Schwartz must be licking his chops right now. The impact of this move will ripple far beyond the Browns' locker room. Around the league, teams are taking notice. AFC contenders like the Chiefs, Ravens, and Bengals are all reassessing their game plans for when they face Cleveland. This isn't just a flashy signing, it's a shift in power dynamics. The Browns are no longer the scrappy underdogs. They are a legitimate threat. And when you look at the arms race happening in the AFC, Cleveland just took a massive step forward. This is the kind of move that changes how you draft, how you prepare, and how you attack on Sundays. Opposing teams now have to account for Micah Parsons every single snap. That changes everything. Even in the locker rooms of division rivals, there's a buzz because they know the Browns are coming and they're not messing around. This is a wake-up call for the rest of the NFL. Let's talk legacy for a second. Micah Parsons already had the makings of a Hall of Fame career before this move. But now, joining a team with this much defensive talent and ambition, his trajectory could skyrocket. In Cleveland, he has a chance to not only pile up stats, but also make deep postseason runs. Maybe even win it all. That matters. Great players are remembered not just for their highlights, but for their rings. And make no mistake, that's the goal here. The Browns aren't doing this for headlines. They're building a contender. Parsons could go down as one of the greatest defenders in franchise history if this pans out. We're talking about a team that once had legends like Clay, Matthews, and Frank Minifield. Parsons could be next in line. He has the opportunity to be the face of a new Browns dynasty, and that's not an exaggeration. Of course, no move is without its risks. Giving big money to any player comes with pressure and expectation. The Browns have to make sure this works. Not just on the field, but in the locker room and in the broader culture of the team. Parsons will be expected to lead, to produce, and to live up to every bit of the hype. But if there's any player who seems built for that pressure, it's him. He's been a star since day one in the league. He's played under the bright lights of Dallas, handled national scrutiny, and still managed to deliver elite performances week after week. Now he brings that experience and swagger to a city that's starving for a winner. It's a perfect match. Gritty, passionate, and full of potential. The Browns took a gamble, but it's a smart one. Because if Parsons stays healthy and focused, the sky is the limit. So here we are on the brink of something potentially historic in Cleveland. The Browns have landed one of the NFL's premier defenders in the prime of his career. They've made a move that sends a message to the entire league. We're not waiting our turn anymore. We're coming for it. With Micah Parsons in the fold, this team instantly becomes one of the most feared defenses in football. They've added firepower, leadership, and swagger. And more importantly, they've added belief. Belief that this team can go all the way. Belief that Cleveland is no longer a punchline, but a powerhouse. The road ahead will still be tough. The AFC is loaded, and championships aren't won on paper. But for the first time in a long time, the Browns have the talent, the vision, and now the superstar to make it real. Buckle up, NFL. The Dawg Pound just got a whole lot louder. Thanks for riding with us on another Browns Blitz. If you liked the video, share it with a fellow fan, hit subscribe, and ring that bell so you're always part of the Dawg Pound conversation. Go Browns!